Dawson X with the Shade Detectives here. Welcome. Now, I was supposed to do this video on Friday. It's just a couple things happened. So we're going to do a quick music review of the Lil Nas X song. Talk about FBET. We're going to talk about Chris Brown and Normani being canceled while Chris Brown album being dropped. We're going to talk about Beyonce and her Break My Soul controversy, how it's co-signing with Drake and his Honestly Nvrmd controversy, and how the dance hall community is a little split and a little divided when it comes to their support, and how Azealia Banks is being brought into the discussion in regards to Beyonce and Break My Soul. Going back to the versus battle that just took place last Thursday night, I have to say that it was quite interesting. It was a lot of shenanigans, a lot of trash talking, and the trash talking has not stopped since the versus battle. Mario and Omarion really show us what R&B was really about in the early 2000s and what it says to us today. So when we have the pre-show with the versus battle, we had Bobby Valentino, Pleasure P, Sammy, and Ray J going at it. And so that was a very hilarious tag team versus pre-show. The fellas were basically drunk, basically high, and they were going for broke, disrespecting one another, all types of names, no types of vocals. No types of vocals. Sammy, he was hilarious. I mean, his vocals were really good. I actually think he looks a lot like Omarion. But he sang his heart out. The one song that we knew, we followed along. I mean, it was pretty good. It was funny, but more than anything, there was a lot of funny moments and chaotic moments that made it a little bit of a ghetto mess. Ray J was the worst vocalist of the night, hands down. I mean, his vocals were struggling. You can go all over social media today and see the various memes that were created to mock his inability to sing. Pleasure P gained so much weight that I did not even recognize him. He looked like the Dream. The songs that he sang, they did remind me of his music. However, I never put two and two together back in those days, but he did not do that bad. He just looked like the Dream. Then when we got to the versus battle, Omarion, I tried to give you, the benefit of the doubt. I thought that you were going to come in and you were going to really kill it because, you were the head of B2K. However, this versus battle showed me that you really don't have the vocals that you should have had as a lead. And I was a bit disappointed in that. I actually thought that Mario was going to lose the versus battle, but he actually came out victorious and king bully of them all. Like, it was very, very reminiscent to the way Jadakiss came during their versus battle and just swept. And so Mario really swept. He really stole the show. He sounded really good, and I am sure that his streams have gone up. One of the more awkward moments was when Omarion decided that he wanted to test out some watermelon and eat it on the stage with his brother Orion. Cringe, awkward, didn't make much sense. Mario, he really stuck to it with his singing, with his vocals. He threw a lot of shade and he said a lot of, disrespectful things to Omarion, but Omarion really put the egg on his own face. He even decided to bring out the dancing clowns from California. They were on the documentary Rise about 20 years ago. I thought it was totally random, and it was kind of cheesy to have them come up there and dance to that old 2004 song. And then the way Mario clowned him and the way Omarion kind of thought that it was like a cool move, it just showed me that, bruh, you lost. You lost with flying colors. Speaking of flying colors, Lil Nas X recorded a new song. It's called something about late for the party or something, and it's featuring NBA Youngboy. I actually like the song. I do. One of the major focuses of the song was his disrespect for BET. The entire chorus consists of him basically saying F BET. So Lil Nas X is still upset about the fact that he was basically snubbed at the BET Awards that took place this past Sunday. And we're going to get into that in the next video. But I do think that the music video was interesting. NBA Youngboy and Lil Nas X, they seem to pair awkwardly well together. Was it the best song? No, it wasn't the best song, but I think that it was cute enough. And I would like to see them do a more serious project together. However, I think Lil Nas X just wanted to put this out to offset the BET Awards that were coming later that weekend. And so he wanted to do a release on the Friday before the Sunday of the BET Awards. So it was okay. I think that it really set the stage for how he felt about the BET Awards. And, it didn't really change anything that was happening with the BET Awards. The BET Awards happened anyway. So anyway, we're going to move on to Chris Brown. He uses Normani. Now, I felt like he used Normani because he dropped his album this past Friday. And, it hasn't done a lot of numbers. It hasn't made a lot of noise. But right before he dropped the album, he was on TV, on our television screens, dancing with Normani to Warm Embrace. Now, the fans are really, really skeptical about this move when it comes to Normani. Chris Brown has been known for blasting dark-skinned women in the past. Within the past year, he has received a lot of backlash for his treatment towards dark-skinned women and his partiality to light-skinned Asian women or non-black women. So I think that with this video and with this move, he is definitely trying to win over his black female fan base. And Normani, she's just trying to stay afloat because she hasn't put out any music since, what was it, Fair? And before that, it was Wild Side. And that was maybe a year and a half ago. So she's trying to stay afloat with all of the artists that are putting out things. However, she's getting dragged profusely for this move. Her fans are not happy, saying that she's supporting a domestic violence abuser, saying that he's a colorist, and she should move better. There are articles out about Normani right now saying that she is ruining and sabotaging her career again. And it's unfortunate because, she's a fair talent. She's a beautiful girl and she can dance and she really has what it takes to be a pop princess. However, it seems as if people are really enjoying the drag of Normani's career. And, it may not go any further than that. We will see. Apparently, she has a song on her upcoming album that has Chris Brown on the song as well. So hopefully, this move will work in her favor for when her album drops and Chris Brown will be on her album, and hopefully that song does a lot better. I'm really not sure about Normani, though. It's unfortunate that she can never seem to get any slack and she can never get any praise for whatever she attempts to do. It seems like people have just reserved that particular praise for Chloe Bailey, her R&B arch nemesis. And I believe that, as Chloe continues to put out music, she will continue to outshine Normani. Now, Chloe was actually supposed to be in a song with Chris Brown. However, she was dragged so much that I don't know where that possibility went. Also, Chris Brown wanted to do a song with Doja Cat, but Doja Cat and her management seemed to decline the offer. So Chris Brown does not get a lot of opportunities to perform with women because of the backlash that has come upon him. It's very unfortunate. Speaking of backlash, Break My Soul is being dragged. I mean, it is being praised. Don't get me wrong, it's being praised, but it's also being dragged. Now, there are a lot of different varied opinions about this. It was last Friday that I posted Azealia Banks actually frustrated with what Beyonce said about her in this write-up where she praised Azealia Banks and basically said that, she admired old Azalea's musical style. So Azealia Banks had a lot of negativity to say about that, and I posted that last Friday. But it's quite interesting because Beyonce has been doing her thing, making sure that the other people that she maybe has pulled inspiration from are doing nothing but showing absolute praise for the Break My Soul song. So we see that Robin S. said that she was very excited that Beyonce gave her her flowers. Big Frida is also very excited that Beyonce incorporated her once again in one of her tracks. We also hear that Drake's album, Honestly Nevermind, with its dance hall club sound, is also being marked as a cultural shifter. These two projects, be it Beyonce's Renaissance project and Drake's Honestly Nevermind, are being pinned as the albums that are going to bring us into a new era of music, And this is where it gets sticky because Azealia Banks, and her frustration, truly believes that this is not a new era of music. This era or this genre of music has existed long before Beyonce, Drake, or any other mainstream musician had an opportunity to take part in it. And they feel like it's just not fair that Beyonce is being credited for things that she didn't start. In fact, there is already an album called Renaissance that came out in 2020, and it's a dance hall. It's a dance hall album, and it has pop fusion. So we see a lot of, I guess, inspirations that are popping up, and Beyonce is being, pinned to the way that the inspiration is, unfolding. Now, in the last video that I posted, we heard how Azealia really drug Beyonce, saying that Beyonce, she doesn't really start these musical movements. She doesn't really change the game and shift the culture. She just latches herself on to an aspect of the culture that may not be as popular, but is surely prominent. But what she does is she brings about a new awareness. But what happens is people just say that she started a new movement, or they say that she brought something from the dead. She brought a new musical genre from the dead, when in actuality, it's already been here, and she actually gained life from breathing the breath of life from these other artists that are out. And so that is mainly, from what I gather, that is her argument. Her argument is that Beyonce is stealing creativity from her. And this is not uncommon. Beyonce has been known for stealing sounds and music. I mean, all the way back to the second album, she was told that she stole when she did Resentment, and then when she did Single Ladies, she stole that from Fashi, and then when she did what was it, Get Me Bodied, she took some of Get Me Bodied from another artist as well. I believe it was the same artist as Single Ladies, I believe. And then when she did Drunken Love, she took Drunken Love from a Hungarian singer, that little part. So Beyonce has always been known for biting and mimicking, but I don't know if it's going to work in the cancel culture of 2022. Beyonce, everyone is watching you. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this video? How do you guys feel about the versus battle? How do you guys feel about the movement of music that is taking place in Chris Brown with his album, and the dragation that's happening with Normani? And how do you feel about Beyonce, Break My Soul, and Drake, Honestly Nevermind, and how they are being told that this is a new movement of dancehall when in actuality, this has been out for a while. So let me know what you think. I'll be back with another video soon. Dawson X 10-4.